Yo, my name is Zeno, and I'm going to be going through the government files today that were publicly released under the signed order of Donald Trump. I'm going to go through some of the more interesting parts of all of the files that I've pretty much read and looked into. Some of these are actually really troublesome to read, because if it's true, then it just means that everything that we've been fed as a civilization is bullshit. So, without further ado, I'm gonna go through the first section that I want to go through and look at, which is gonna be section 9. So, let's get into it. I'm actually gonna turn my camera off. It seems to be lagging a bit right now. So, alright, so if y'all want to look at any of this for yourselves, you can go to the website www.war.gov, which I will put in the description. But the files you want to look at are right here. So they have, of course, all these photos on here. Anything you want to look at. This was probably the strangest one that I've seen on here, as to all of these images collected. One of them were from the Apollo mission, the first landing of the moon. Yeah, right here. Archival imagery of the Apollo 17 mission to the moon. The yellow box contains an enlarged area of the original photo, which 3 lights are visible above the lunar terrain. So I can zoom in right here at that real quick. When you look at most of these, you'll ask Google if these are even real, it says that it's disclosed as public knowledge for everything they've found, but it doesn't confirm the existence somehow. Which I don't see how it doesn't confirm the existence, because of what I'm about to read and the release, right? So they have these files down here, all from 1940s, around the time that Nikola Tesla died, right? Which, I mean, it's just kind of strange. So I'm gonna go to. So you can see the sections, section 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we'll go to section 9, which this was, let's see, this was 1947, or documented between June 1947 and July 1968. It says it includes high-profile incident accounts, photographic evidence from site like Oak Ridge, Tennessee, and technical proposals regarding potential propulsion systems. Right. So if we go into here, now I'm not really gonna go and look at I've already read through the top pages, but the more interesting shit's down here that I want to read to y'all personally. So if you go to page 149 and 150, I'm going to read this right here, if y'all can't see it. The major part of his lecture was devoted to explaining the occurrences in the Bible as they related to the space people. He said that the only mention of God in the Bible in the beginning is when the universe was being made. He said that after all references to out of the sky or out of heaven. He said that this is due to the fact that man, space people, was made by God, and that in the beginning of the world, the space people came to the earth and left animals here. These were the prehistoric animals, which existed at a body temperature of 105 degrees. However, the polar tilt occurred when the whereby the poles shifted and the tropical climates became covered with ice and vice versa. He said, then the space people again put animals on the earth, and this is depicted in the Bible as Noah's Ark. Keep in mind, this is literally just talking about religion. He said that after the polar tilt, the temperature to sustain life was 98.6 degrees, which was suitable for space people, so they established a colony and left only males here. Alright, keep those points in mind, males, intending to bring females at a later date on supply ships. This is reflected in Adam not having a wife. He said that Adam was not an individual, but a race of men. He said that this race then intermarried with intelligent, upright walking animals, which race was Eve. This is like some intense shit to read if it's true. Like, it just like, why are people going into church and praying when, if this information is true, it would literally be just like pointless and kind of dumb. But let me know what y'all think about it in the comments. Then the space people came back, and the supply ships, they saw what happened and did not land, but ever since, due to the origin of Adam, they have watched over the people on earth. He said that this is recorded in the Bible many times, such as Moses receiving the 10 Commandments. He said the 10 Commandments are the laws of the space people, and men on earth only give them lip service. Also, the manna from heaven was bread supplied by the space people. He stated that this can even be in the native stories, such as the Indians in America saying that corn and potatoes, unknown in Europe, were brought here by a flaming canoe. He said this refers to a spaceship, and the Indians' highest form of transportation was the canoe, so they likened it unto that. He said that this can also be shown by the old stories of the winged chariots and the winged white horses, which came from out of the sky. He said that Jesus was born of Mary, who was a space person, sent here already pregnant in order to show the earth people the proper way to live. He said that the space people have watched over us through the years and have tried to help us. He said they've sent their agents on earth, and they appear just as we do. However, they have the power to know your thoughts just as Jesus did. He said this is their means of communication, and many of the space people here are mute, but they train a certain number of them to speak language of Earth. And this next part is kind of like gravely concerning, because this kind of like says that pretty much like demons and stuff isn't really a demon. Said the space people here on Earth are equipped with a crystal battery which generates a magnetic field about them which bends light waves so that they, the space people, appear invisible. He said this has resulted in ghost stories such as footsteps, doors opening, and other such phenomena. He stated that the space people here are now gravely concerned with their atom bombs. He said the explosions of these bombs have upset the Earth's rotation, as in the instance of the French bomb explosion in North Africa, and have actually caused earthquakes. He said the officials on Earth are aware of this, and this was the reason for the recent geophysical year in order to try to determine what can be done. He said these explosions are forcing the Earth towards another polar tilt which will endanger all of mankind. Said that the space people are prepared to evacuate those who have abided by the golden rule when the polar tilt occurs, but will leave the rest to perish. He advised that the space people have contacted the officials on Earth, advised them of their concern, but this has not been made public. Said that the radioactive fallout has become extremely dangerous, and officials are worried about each power is so greedy of their own power they will not agree to make peace. So these are the most important parts of everything I've read through all of these files, and I don't know, I really want to know what everyone else here thinks about these documents being released, because this could be something that's world-changing, like massively world-changing, bruh. It's kind of scary to think about, like dead ass, but that's pretty much all I'm gonna get into, because there's still so many files that haven't been released, and I really want to get into like the most important parts. Most of the other stuff is mainly just them like interviewing and talking about how people have seen sightings and old newspapers and all that since the 1940s. But if you like this video, be sure to like, sub, and comment. I'm also gonna leave a link in the description for the Shopify link for this little mug that I have on my store, so be sure to check that out if you want.